If you want to get to the ring more often, you need to work on the high pickup. This is going to allow you to split gaps, protect the ball, and get to the basket. Now in this situation here, I'm imagining this first orange box is my defender, and that the second orange box there is my help defender. So as I drive to the basket, what's often going to happen as we're driving is we've got our defender on our hip, so my defender will be on my right hip here, and then there's going to be a help defender, someone guarding one of my teammates, on my other side. What a lot of players end up in this situation trying to do is either seeing that happening and then not going to the basket and just pulling back out, or they try and pick the ball up here at waist height, and that's the easiest spot for a defender to just reach in and poke it away, and now you've got a turnover. What we want to work on here is a high pickup, which means as I see that defender coming and thinking that they might be able to get a hand on my pickup, is I'm going to pick the ball up early by punching that dribble down. I'm going to grab it with two hands and I'm going to immediately bring it up and go over the top of that gap. So I'm going over that defender's arm and not allowing them to poke at the ball, not allowing them to affect my pickup. Now, even though it's called a high pickup, you'll notice that I picked the ball up low and then I brought it high. So what we want to do on this is we want to punch that last dribble down hard. Notice that I'm dribbling it before the defender. I'm not trying to dribble it through the gap. We put the ball down before the gap, punch it down, grab it quickly with two hands, and then immediately bring it up really high until we get to our 2 steps for a finish. So you want to time that swing of the ball with the swing of your first step. If I'm driving here to the left, my last dribble will be on my right foot like that, and now I'm going to swing the ball in sync with my left foot step. So it's almost like I'm swinging the ball and my left foot over the gap. Like that, left, right, and then we'd be into our finish. It could be a 1-step finish as well. Most of the time on this, it's going to be a 2-step finish. So a little quicker so you can see the rhythm. I make my move, I'm getting past this defender, we drive in, over the top, and then getting into the finish. So players will often make the mistake with this of trying to either do a few things. Sometimes they'll try and dribble it forward through the gap, which defeats the purpose of it because we're trying to avoid that defender. The other mistake players can make on this one is that they'll wait too long to bring it high. So they'll take the last dribble, they'll take their first step, and then try and bring it up at the last second. Remember that point of the ball and the first of your 2 steps being in sync with each other. And then the last mistake that players will make is that they let the ball get high instead of picking it up low. So they'll take the last dribble, they'll pick it up at normal height, and then try and bring it up high. And if you've got that defender who's trying to poke at the ball, it might already be gone by then. So punch that last dribble down quickly, immediately bring the ball high, and you'll be getting to the basket. Now, depending on the spacing, you may need to punch that dribble down a little bit sooner than what you're expecting. Let's say the spacing is how I've got it set up here. If I'm driving and I get past my guy, and now I take my first dribble, it might be somewhere around here. If I was going to keep running full speed and take a full length dribble, well, my next dribble is probably going to be around here. And if that's a defender, that ball's gone. So I might need to put that dribble down a little bit sooner and get my steps choppy and quick and punch the dribble down a little bit earlier than what I was expecting. And you can see the rhythm here. I push the first dribble out, and then I quickly punch that second dribble down a little bit sooner than I was expecting by shortening my steps and shortening that dribble. One more time, you can see it. 1, 2, and then over. The last point with this, make sure you are keeping the ball away from your defender. So we want to swing it, we want to pick it up high, and we want to keep it on the same side. If I got my defender on my hip, when we're practicing this, we want to make sure we're not swinging it across, because that's exactly where my defender is. I got my guy on my right, we got the help defender on the left. So we're going over the help defender, but we're keeping the ball on that same side of our body the entire time. This move is absolutely essential. If you don't have it in your game, add it in and you're going to find yourself getting into the paint and getting to the ring so much more frequently than you were before. That's the high pickup, must add to your game.